Everybody, it's me, Beth's Golden, and it looks like I'm upside down to you. So I will try to turn it. Not sure if that worked. Maybe it did. I'm not sure. Let me adjust my camera. Today, okay, so I'm sorry. I'm super excited about today. That's why I'm a little bit late getting on here. Because I have a really fun product to use, and I've actually been researching it for some time. And, well, some time, I mean like the last 24 hours. And so they are the Blends 2 by ColorBox, and I didn't even know that these little bad boys existed until I was at Creativation 2019. And, Eileen Hull comes over to me and she goes, "Hey, I have some new color blends out. You want some?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So she gave me these and she kind of told me what they did. And then I went on and I watched her do her thing online. Gosh, I hate that you guys can see that. It's so ugly. And so I'm going to try to move this camera a little bit. Sorry. Hopefully I don't turn it off because my luck I would. All right, so anyway, okay. A little better, not much. Oh well, we'll go from here. So anyway, I did some research. I found out some stuff about this. These are so cool. First of all, these actually are the refills for her blends. And there's a handle that you can purchase that has like a sponge tip applicator on the bottom. You press it once and that ink comes out and you use it from there. I don't have the handle, though I would like the handle, so I may have to go purchase it, but it's pretty cool. You hold it like this, so it looks like a little L, and the L is where the sponge is, and that's where the ink comes from. And it holds 10 times the amount of ink as a ink pad would hold. So it is super cool. I'm going to just use that I have on hand, and that is my handles that I have with sponge tip applicators. And I'm going to show a couple different techniques or experiment play with a couple different techniques with this. I used these last night actually on some clay, white clay, to create some embellishments for a live I'm doing tomorrow in the Rise and Shine group, Rita Bearcat's Rise and Shine group on Facebook. So if you want to join me for that, because it's super cool, I'll show you one of the things I did with it, which was this. This is a pink. I used the tutu on this with a stamped image, and you can't really, there you go, that's better. And that's what it did in art foamy. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys how to do this, how to use it with clay, in the Rita Bearcat group tomorrow. But I had so much fun with it that I thought, you know, I want to come on today and play with it. I was going to do this on Friday, but I couldn't wait. So I'm going to show you some of the techniques that you can use. We're going to create a couple different projects. I try to keep my lives between 30 and 45 minutes, but this one might go over. So yeah, because it's kind of freaking awesome. I think it's awesome. And I'm going to start off with I'm going to use the Frog Blends ink refiller. I'm going to set these off to the side. We'll get to some of those later. And I'm just going to make a bookmarker with some simple stamping. And how I'm going to do that is you can use this as ink and you can emboss with it. It is a slow dry, so it does emboss beautifully, apparently. We'll see. And then you can also use it to paint with, and you can use it as a mist. And then you can blend it with baby wipes. So there's a lot to do with it. We're going to try all of it. I have a couple different things from Creativation that I'm going to do. But for this one, I'm going to just do this whole thing in Frog, just so you can see how having a monochromatic color base can be really, really cool, because depending on how much water you mix in and so on and so forth will depend on your intensity of your ink. So the first thing I'm going to do is load up my stamp. This is a stamp I got at Creativation. It's from Paper Roses, and it is their Cactus Wishes. So cute. So I'm going to just do the cute little cactus. Since I am using an acrylic, a cling foam, I do need some cushioning to make the image crisp. Okay, so I'm going to just take some frog. Now, when she uses the blending, it literally is one drop. So I'm just going to use one drop of the frog, and I want to stamp with it. So I'm going to take my sponge applicator and just get that all over, and then I'm going to ink up my stamp like so. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of stamp this on the bottom like that. See how this does. I've never done this before. I've only played with it with the clay. Wow, look at that image. That is so pretty. I think I need to, the light is not hitting it right. Let's see if this will help. It's so white. Does that help or does that make it worse? Oh, that helps, I think. I'm an overcast day, so it screwed me up. Okay, so since this is a slow dry, we can go ahead and emboss it, which I want to do because I'm going to paint with it next. So I'm just going to take clear embossing powder because I want that to shine through, and lay that out. And then I'm just going to heat set it. Wow, that is so pretty. I'm going to turn on the overhead light, you guys. I like to keep it off because there's a glare on my glass mat, but all you see is white on my end, and that's not going to work. So hopefully this will help you at least see the project better, what I'm working on. And there's that. Okay, so from here, I want to go ahead and I'm going to pull my camera down just a little bit more. Yeah. I turn this one off. I'm sorry. It's overcast outside, and usually I have really nice natural light in here, and I don't today. All right, a little better. Okay, so from here, I want to go ahead and water paint the inside. Now you could do a paintbrush dipped in water, which is totally cool, but then you're going to have to change your water out if you want to do more painting. So what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to pick some paint up on my little brush that's off to the side with my, I have that same drop that I used is off to the side. And I am going to paint it. So I'm trying to, there you go. So see, there's my little drop. And I'm just going to pick up some color. And I'm going to just lay that out. And again, this is the frog color. And I'm watercoloring with it. So since it's a pigmented ink, it will work with just straight up water. And that was all, this is all just from one drop. One drop of ink is everything I'm getting right now off of this. All right. So look at that. So see the difference? How the straight ink stamping is more intense than the stuff that we just laid down. And I actually want to throw some shading into this. So I'm going to throw on some uniform on this. I believe this is like a bluey purple. And again, it's just, I'm just doing one drop and I'm just going to smoosh it around with my water. And then I'm just going to kind of add some on the bottom here. Just to give a little bit of variation. And then if you want to go in with the cactus and get the cactus tips a different color, you could totally use Tutu, which is the pink, and I'm going to do that as well. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a drop of that. And since I am using this brush, I can just clean off my brush by squirting out the water and then just picking up some of this pink. I'm just going to, actually I'm not really happy with that brush, so I'm going to transfer over to this little brush. So I'm just going to go in to the tips, just add a little bit of pink on the edges. And then pull it down. So these really, so it works as a watercolor, it works as a paint. So now let's check it out as a mist. So in this I have a little bit of water, and I'm going to take and just drop in 1 drop of this frog. Something to think about is if you have like a glimmer mist that's fairly just like glimmery and not with color in it, you could totally mix glimmer mist with this. That would be pretty, and then you would get like a shimmery effect. So let's see how this mists, and then we'll start the other project. Okay. So yeah, so definitely some green right in there. And yeah, that's really cool. So it can definitely stamp. It embosses beautifully. Really pretty emboss there. And then you can watercolor paint with it, or you can mist it. So let's go ahead and pull out a stencil. Let me clean up my space. I know, don't have a heart attack, you guys. I know, everybody panics when I do this, but for the sake of TV, I gotta wipe the 1 drops away so we can move on. So I want to take this stencil that I got, and it is by Picket Fences, and I want to do some blending on this, and it is a cute little peacock. So I'm going to do some blending on this one with these. Just going to use my mixed media book for this. And I'm going to first create a background. And how I'm going to do that is I am going to dot out a couple different colors spray them with a little bit of water to get them to move, and then put it on the paper and use a baby wipe to blend it together. So the colors that I'm going to use for this are going to be, I think I'm going to do Beach Place. I'm going to do the Bay, and then I'm going to do the Green Frog, or the Frog again. And the reason why I'm not using pink or purple is because these are all cool tones, and I don't know how well they will blend with warm tones. Like, I don't know how well they'll blend. So I kind of want to keep it all in the same family. So I'm just laying out some color first. And it looks like I'm going to need more than just one drop to cover my surface. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to need 3 drops of each, which is fine. And I'm just trying to lay the color out first. And she says to go from the lightest to the darkest. So then let me get some green down. And again, looks like I'm going to need about 3 drops each. So let me get some green down. Woo! That is some green. Wow. Maybe I didn't need 3 drops of the green. I am going to lighten this up with a baby wipe. All right. And then I want to use the Beach. Okay, so I have my color relatively laid out. I do want to go over it with some more of the Bay. And if you hear my dogs start barking in a minute, it's, well, they're dogs. They bark. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take a baby wipe, and I'm just going to see what happens if I just blend this out with a baby wipe. I think it'll cause the colors to not be so intense, and it'll kind of lighten them and just smooth out. And then we'll put a stencil over it. Oh yeah. So see how that just really, oh, that really moves it lovely. Oh, this is perfect. Because I really wanted that green that was pretty dark. So look at how that just blends it out wonderfully. Oh, I like it. That's so pretty. So I wonder what will happen if I pick up some of the ink on my baby wipe and just apply it like that. That's really cool. I like it. All right, so I'm going to do some Beach on my baby wipe. I think I'm done with the green on this. It has a pretty good green coverage already. So I'm just going to take and just put some of that Beach down with the baby wipe. I like it, the application of this, better with the baby wipe than I did with my with my handles. I like this much better. Okay, and then I want to put some of this bay down. And again, I'm going to apply it with the baby wipe. And then I'll find a clean spot on my baby wipe and blend it all out again. All right, so that looks pretty. And then from here, I just want to take my wipe and I am trying to soften this a little bit, just a little bit. This is so cool. I love this stuff. How cool is that? Okay, so from here, I want to take my peacock and lay out that stencil. So this is the peacock that I'm going to use. I'll just put it right about there. And it is by Picket Fences. This is a new one of theirs. You can definitely use some purple tape on the edges. I have some, and I wish I would have brought it over, but I didn't. So I'm going to not do that right now and just wing it. I'm going to be using some of the uniform to start with. And so just a dollop or two of that. I don't think I'm going to get that wet at all. I think I'm just going to use it as straight up ink. The uniform to me looks like a dark blue. And you just want to make sure that you are respectful of your sponge tip when you do this, because you could really beat it up. So I kind of go out into the area with it, like so. And I'm just kind of pulling it out. Like that. Oh, that's so pretty. This blends really nice, you guys. It really does. Okay, and then I want to do the tips in the tutu, this pink. So we'll see how the pink lays on top of that background that I did. But the pink and that uniform, you know, if they blend, they should make purple. And yep, that's what it's doing. In the spots that they blend, it is purple. But I do want to lay some more of my tutu out. All right. This is pretty cool stuff. I love how it lays on a stencil. It's very nice. It almost like has a chalky type finish to it that's really pretty. Oh, I love this. I can't wait to see what it looks like when I'm done. All right. That's so pretty. I'm just going to go over this area. All right, so let's lift it and see what we have. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I love that. That is so cool. My favorite thing with this ink so far has to be the stamping and just the stencil use. I don't think I've ever had ink go on just that beautifully before. All right, so I have another stencil that I want to use because I want to show, I haven't used the golden door or the copper yet. And the copper is different. It actually is thicker. So it will not, I want to see how it interacts as I do this process with the stencil as well. But right now, I was looking for my wipe. How sad is that? I'm looking for a dirty wipe. All right, I need to just remove this. And it really blends really, really lovely with a wipe. I'm so impressed. So nice. Okay. So this is my stencil that I want to use now. It's a new one. It's an art mask by Carabella. And again, I got it at Creativation. So I'm going to move this one back. We'll start with a fresh page. And so for this one, I'm actually going to get the page ready with some yellow first, and then I'm going to stencil over it with the copper, I think is how I want to do this. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just kind of stencil and have fun with it. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so here is golden. Almost has like a mustardy look to it when you first lay it down. And then the copper. And the copper is a little bit thicker. So the mix-it-ins that they had to use in this really, really made it thick. I don't know if you guys see how thick that is compared to the other one. All right. So I'm first going to just lay down some yellow. That's really intense. That is some intense yellow. So I think I have a different idea. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to lay the color out first. And then I'm going to go over it with a baby wipe and the stencil and pick it up. So let me just lay this out first. So that is some super intense color. And I'm also, I'm going to wet this and see what will happen if I loosen it up a little with some water. Oh, wow, that's cool. That goes on more like a paint, which is awesome. I really like how this interacts with water and with baby wipes. So I'm just going to cover this right now in this golden color. And now I'm going to lay out this, and I'm just going to start to go over with the baby wipe and maybe do some ghost imaging. Just see what that does. Oh, now see, look, it's smeared as I did that. So when I lift it, I need to be super, oop, and I use the blue. Oh well, duper careful. Because my baby wipe, and I do have some blue on this, so let me switch over to a new wipe. So it is water soluble, so it does transfer, which is why you want to keep your sponges and things pretty pure. All right, let's see how that one did. That's pretty. So I'm just kind of laying it out. Putting some texture down. And it does look like texture. And then let me just dab up that excess liquid from the wipe. My wipe is very juicy. I kind of like the effect of that. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the copper. And I am going to use a dabber for this to begin with, because like I said, this is a little bit thicker. It literally feels like paint. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, wow. It holds its shape nicely. I like that there's no edges on this stencil because it's super fun. I don't have to worry about really obnoxiously straight lines. This is looking pretty. Okay, I like it. So I want to take what little I have left, spray it with a little bit of water, and let's see if it lays the same, because the it has a different density to it than the other inks do, and I think it's because it's metallic. Okay, so it does move when it's wet, and it does still apply. It doesn't, like, you know, get little chips and stuff in it. Sometimes that happens, so that's kind of fun. Oh, I like it. This is coming along nicely. Okay, so I have one more thing I want to do, and that is I want to stamp with the copper and emboss it. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to actually stamp directly on this. So let me just heat set this up really quickly. And then I'm going to lay out, because it is a slow dry pigment, so I want to kind of get it set up so that I can lay it out, the ink out on it, and emboss it. Okay, that feels pretty dry. So, dun dun dun. I also ran into Seth Appner, and he handed out these stamps at the end of the show. And so I thought that this would be really cool with the copper on it and then some of the embossed images to finish off this page. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay some of this down. Since this is a cling foam deep etch stamp, I don't have to worry about putting it on my foam plate. So let me take my copper again, and I just want to stamp with it. I just want to see what's going to happen. And the copper does lay out super thick. It almost has it does have a consistency like paint. So it'll be interesting to see how well this stamps and embosses. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this out over here. Ooh, pretty. I did it upside down too. Nice, truly mixed media at this point. And I'm just kind of going to clean my stamp off as I go. All right, that's cool. And then let me do this big one. These stamps lay beautifully. I'm trying to think. It's by Paper Artsy, so it's pretty cool. Little stamp set. I really do like this copper. I have always been a copper fan. Okay, so there's this one. And it looks like I need to lay out some more copper because the face didn't quite come through, but you know, that's okay. We're playing. This is a mixed media piece. I can slap some collage on over it, you know, it's no big deal. But this does work really nice with these sponge tips. So if you want the ink refills and you don't have, you know, the applicators, that's okay. I think you can make it work. Oh, that's a really cool face. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right. So I have 3 more I gotta do because I want to see what all the stamps look like. These are some fun stamps. Really cool. Again, paper artsy, and yeah, it just is to go to their blog. Seth Appner is the one that gave them to me, though. He followed right up behind Eileen. So it makes sense that I would try to use them together. Okay. This is so cool. I'm just going to do that one, and then I need this one. I mean, it's like a Southwest steampunk feel to it, this stamp set. It's really kind of neat. Definitely am digging on it. You know, sometimes you have to try things and ooh, look at the fish. That would be a really cool steampunk fish, you guys. You know, sometimes you just have to go ahead and just try things, because I was looking at the stamp set and I'm like, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use that, but I'm liking what this is doing so far. Laid out more ink. All right. And this is like a little script. Oh, that is really cool. So awesome. Then I wonder what would happen if I just directly tried to set it on the glass mat and pick up some of the ink. It totally worked. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just lay out some of the embossing powder, because I want to see how it will heat set. Like, will it intensify the metallic? What will it do? Did it dry too much? Like, what's going to happen here? All right. And I didn't get everything covered in the embossed image, like the whole page, which is okay. I'm not necessarily trying to do that. We'll save that for later. Let's heat set this and see what happens, shall we? Oh my goodness. This is so pretty. This is a beautiful background page that can be used in an art journal or even cut up into some card bases. This, you guys, I'm a big fan of the ink blends too. I think that they're pretty fantastic. Now I just need the handles and all 16 of the colors. I have 7. I really, 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 really love how this stamps and how it blends. It's beautiful. It works so well on top of those stencils, as you saw. And you guys, if you're over on Facebook, if you have an account, please join the Rita Bearcat Rise and Shine group, because tomorrow I'm going to be over there with the color box blends again, and I'm going to be working with clay and making some clay embellishments using the color blends and then Activia clay. And it's some pretty cool clay. It's like a white pigmented light clay. It's really neat. So come join me over there. And then tomorrow here, I think I'm going to do some playing with another thing I got from Creativation as well at noon or close to noon. All right, so there it is. Really cool background mixed media piece made with these color blends. This page was made with copper and then the golden. And the paper artsy stamps. And then also we have this beautiful peacock that we did the background with. So we did some blending with the baby wipes, and then also some blending, just straight blending with the stencil and sponge. And then here is just kind of a tone on tone card with the 3 different ways that you can use the color blend using frog. So I really hope you enjoyed this. It was a fun play session for me, and it's important to me that I go through Creativation stuff that companies gave me and at least try them out, especially online. And you know, it's really cool of them to give us product, and there's so much to do other than just unbox it and show you guys our haul. I think it's important that, you know, we get to see it in action just to see what it does. So there you go. Please join me again tomorrow. Make sure that you check out the Rise and Shine group with Rita Bearcat. And until next